Hello, and welcome back to the podcast that drinks and knows things. I am Luke, and this is our episode entitled Season 8 Teasers, Trailers, and Master Clickbaiters. We are recording this on April 6th, 2019. That means Season 8 is starting in about a week from now. Just, 8 days from now? That's
about a week, yeah.
That's pretty much
a little
excitement.
bit over a week.
It's approximately a week plus or minus a day.
Give or take.
This show and all of our shows at thepodcastthat.com are produced with the love and support of our wonderful Imaginary Legion patrons. Learn more about our reward tiers at patreon.com/stayimaginary. I am joined, as always, by Ben Sly of House McLean.
Well, hello.
What
How's
are you
everyone
drinking?
doing? I have a mishmash. I did go to the store today, and I went back to the classic of my Shock Top variety pack
There you go.
because
Cool.
the summer session is back, and so I have my citrus. But first, I'm starting off with the Breckenridge Brewery Vanilla Porter.
Nice. It is a good beer. That
It's
is
a very good beer.
a tasty beer. I am also joined, as always, by Gertie of House Condescension. What's up, friend?
Oh, nothing. Just, got my cheeseburger delivered. So y'all saw that.
So other than the cheeseburger, what are you chowing down during the stream today?
Well, I'll probably not eat the cheeseburger on the stream. So if we could hurry this up, folks, that'd be great. Just
Burger's
smelling great
cold.
next to me. I'm
Burger's
just kidding.
chilling.
And I got Duplin Black River Red.
And you have a special cup there too? Is that a
No, it's
how it is the lamest
It
cup
looks
I
like-
think I've ever
It
seen.
looks like something made out of PVC pipe.
It has so much potential, Abby. That's literally a blank canvas. You can't.
it's my Night King cup. You just can't see
There-
it yet.
you know,
It's not
that's-
cold.
it-
It changes.
There you go. That's fair. That's fair.
Once it gets warm, it'll change.
Yeah.
And
Wines are
for the
always
first time in a
cold.
little while, everyone's been asking, where is he?
Everyone's been asking.
But we're the return of the Glenn. Glenn of House Dog, welcome back, buddy.
Howdy.
What are you drinking?
I am drinking a birch beer.
A birch beer. You're having actually a diet birch beer. And I myself am having a Bud Select because it's what was here. And we are going to do the 4 different teasers and trailer videos that have come out in the past couple months, starting with the
The first one.
Dragonstone teaser
And
ending with the last one that came out the other day. So, without further ado, any final thoughts before we? I guess you said any initial thoughts before we jump into it. Nope. All right. So we are going to go ahead and roll this beautiful map footage. Hopefully this works. Ooh.
Spooky.
Hold on, is this a Bud Ice commercial? Where's AK?
Doobie doo. I like how it freezes the wolf's butt first.
Wolves and dragons are cool.
See, I always get the feeling of the Tyrion, Peter Dinklage, Busta Rhymes, Doritos Fire and Ice commercial from the Super Bowl.
Which we don't have prepared.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that.
So if you didn't know, the season is coming out in April 2019. That's I think
Yes.
about
It's
right when
now.
we
It's coming out
when
now.
we first learned of that was through this, or right around the time that this came out. So that was kind of new information when that came out. But Glennie, what's your first thought on this quick little teaser here?
Okay, so no surprise. Obviously, ice and fire clash. But it seems that they're pitting the Northern Alliance against the Southern foes.
Mm-hmm.
Am I wrong?
I don't.
thinking that?
I don't really think you're wrong. And I think it's definitely like a hype type. It's a teaser, right? If we're supposed to see these and say, "Hey, wow, there's shit coming together," and they're using ice and fire, which is like the name of the series that it's all named after. And yeah, the way it starts from the south on one side, meets towards the mid. I don't know, Abby
Right.
or Glennie, go for it. Sorry.
Yeah, it's just kind of because you have that fight for the dawn or whatever they're calling it, and with the Night King. So it's like they're gonna be focused on that, but the way the trailer has them against each other. So I don't know.
So now you just said Night King. I always thought it was Nice King. They're fighting the Nice King.
He's a nice guy.
He's just a
Get to
nice
know him.
guy. Abby, what are your thoughts on this teaser or the Nice King?
Well, the Nice King, I don't have many thoughts on him, but this teaser, I haven't seen this one before. Actually, most of these today I've watched all of at the most 10 minutes ago. So that's exciting.
It's
I like at the
fresh.
very end, um under behind the Game of Thrones title, you still get like the remnants of like some sparking red, fiery looking stuff and some bluish, icy stuff. I think it's just it's pretty. I don't know.
Yeah, it is pretty.
It's
and it
hard for
is.
me to sit here and like analyze them because I have never done it before, so I feel like it could be totally off base, or I don't know, I'm not starved for Game of Thrones
You
like
haven't been sitting
content.
for a
So
year before this
I'm
came
not
out.
like super vested in like I'm like, okay, I'll wait a week. Like that's fine. So-
Fine. This is perfect timing. This is just like the
Yeah.
next episode for me.
Exactly. So I feel kind of like not welcome here. Like I shouldn't qualify.
Get leave.
You can't watch it for
Go
another
home.
year.
You and Phil H leave.
Yeah.
Phil H, please stay. Benj, what would you take away from this?
Yeah, so fire and ice making a wall of dragon glass. It's kind of telling towards the end there. They're come together and leave up a huge, black structure between them. It makes sense that to me that'd be kind of dragon glass for telling something along those lines that is going to have a big part to play.
Build a dragon glass wall.
Well, the ice one's not a great structural material to choose.
Right.
But yeah, no, I really like that it's all set on the Dragonstone table. I think that's something that's been there since pretty early on, and I just have always enjoyed the way it looks. And now that they're kind of using this to tell some of what like Glenn was saying of like like coming from the north, coming from the south, and meeting somewhere in the middle. I also liked that they kind of showed some of the allegiances of the ice side versus fire side. You would think, oh, Danny, fire side. But at least in this, they're showing the fire all coming from the lion Lannister side, and the dragon and the wolf both freeze. So I don't know if there's really much to pull from that other than neat.
It kind of reminds me of like when you make a volcano and you have like a balloon full of chili that explodes, and then you have hot dog people at the bottom that the chili is the lava. It burns all the hot dog people.
Yeah, no, and that's totally fair. And you have like the little cheddar cube houses that they're all living in for this Pompeii of Chile.
They all get swamped.
They just all get thwobbed, and then you have to dig them out years later. Also, chili dogs, my favorite food in the whole world. It is the best. So I like your chili dog volcano analogy.
And I think we should make one of those.
Maybe we will. Maybe we'll do a live stream broadcast of us building it.
I have a volcano mold, just so you know.
Boom.
I can get it for you.
Okay,
You
Abby
put
is
chili in
invited.
there.
One of these streams, we're gonna have just a volcano.
Maybe for the season 8 finale, we'll blow it. Anyway, any final thoughts on this? I know, to me, I was pretty excited when I first saw it. I just like the way it looks. It's pretty. It's neat. But again, it's a teaser. Not really a whole lot of substance to pull from, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely a get hype video. It's hey, we haven't had any content in 7 to 10 months, and first thing out, it's like, okay, cool, this will be good.
All right, ready to move on to the next one? So that one was called Fire and Ice on the official HBO website. This next one is called The Starks Look to the Past, and this is also very well known as the Crypt promo. All right, so let's go ahead and play it. Jon Snow.
You have to protect him.
And Jon Snow hear feathers dropping.
This horror that's come to my
He's
family.
that good, Abby.
It's all because I couldn't love a motherless child.
You are a Stark. You might not have my name, but you have my blood.
Blood. Script action. 3 Starkies. Well, potential Starks. Questionable, I guess, on some. Fire goes out. Cold wind blows.
The pack survives.
All right, so this is, I think, where we got the official April 14th that it was announced. So this is just a progression. I actually didn't get which days these all actually came out, but this one came out just like 2 months ago or so, probably.
Yeah,
somewhere around there. I know Benj and I did a stream with Living My Rhapsody on her channel when this first came out. But Abby, I'm going to come to you first on your thoughts here.
Well, one, I think John looks considerably older than the girls do, like his representation in his statue.
The statue.
Yes. And again, like, I don't know, it's a statue, and we've already heard them say, like, oh, it doesn't even look like Ned. Like, they should have had somebody do it that knew him.
But we know him.
Exactly.
We know.
And so I feel like maybe you could draw something. I don't know, like looking at it just in this picture that we have up here, maybe he doesn't, but when I was watching, I was like, is that supposed to be Jon Snow? Maybe it is. I don't know. Who knows? But other than that, again, this is the first time I've ever saw it. I do wonder, moving along down, like we see this feather, and people that I've heard have said stuff about like that being tied to maybe Sansa or maybe Lady Mormont. I don't really get the feather, so.
So the first time we saw that feather was season 1, episode 1. Mm-hmm. King Robert Baratheon sets that feather on Lyanna Stark's statue with Ned down in the crypts.
And I just watched that. I just didn't remember that little.
I actually just watched that episode last night too.
I watched it just a day ago. But yeah, so that, other than that, everybody else had kind of, y'all are more insightful and intelligent than me.
It seems like I get where you're going. It seems like John's, like, his beard's more full than what the character has,
or I think that we've ever seen him have. Like, so.
Well, Winter's here. He's got his undergrowth.
That's right.
It's fuller. Benj, what's your big first take here?
Yeah, so 1 second here. Sorry, I was typing something up. First, a shout out to Derek in the chat, Ninth Prey, and Peter Griffin. They both pointed out that John stole his own statue, and it's sitting in his garden now. Kit Harington stole his statue.
Oh, funny.
Yeah, and they have it sitting in their garden. But my note on it first, they're very much focusing on John's heritage and rightful place as a Stark and Targaryen, kind of trying to play up, you are a Stark. You are, your blood is, you might not have my name, but you have my blood, kind of thing, to make it known that you're a Stark, you're meant to be here in Winterfell. Even though it's now hearing that from Ned, he's saying, yeah, you might not have the actual name, your name might be Targaryen, even though to say that you have the Stark blood in you. And then also my other note on it is, hopefully they know by this point that Needle won't be much of help to Arya against the Whites and White Walkers, because it's just a steel sword that doesn't really do much. It can poke many holes, but those holes aren't going to do much. So that's kind of my only thoughts on it.
Do you think that she knows that for sure?
I'm sure they'll figure that. Like, once John gets back and like John and Sam start kind of telling everybody the ins and outs, I think they'll come across. I think they did it for the show premise, because Needle is tied to Arya's character. Like, that's her thing, and so it makes sense for her to pull it out, because they just want that visual. But I think show wise, we're not going to see much Needle work.
Oh, I think we are.
I think we're going to see plenty of Needle work.
I think only because I'm saying against the Whites, we're not going to see a lot of Needle work.
I think we are, because I think that between Sam and Gendry, there we go. Okay. Sam and Gendry, we are going to see them recreate Valyrian steel. Okay. And we are going to see them be able to manipulate obsidian. And I think that because Arya is so well versed in her needlework, that they will make sure that that weapon is
Fair.
like spruced up. It's Needle 2.0.
Fair,
Yeah,
fair. And I
I mean,
actually
there's only
kind of
one
did have
Wonder
the same thought, but
Yeah.
at the same time, it's like being the smartass of hopefully they know that the needle that we know won't be effective.
Somebody might say something along the line of, "Hey, that won't work."
She has the dagger at least, right? Glennie,
Use
what's
the
what's
dagger.
your first takeaway in this crypt scene?
Yeah, like it just seems definitely like a promo. Like I don't really think that this is going to be actual footage, but I think they're just trying to play off the statues as a representation of their legacy thus far. One thing that I noticed, there's no Bran statue or Bran in the crypts, and I know that like he's like, well, I'm the Three-Eyed Raven now. I'm not a Stark anymore or whatever. But like, you think his family, the three there would be like, you're gonna get a statue because you're still part of our family.
Yeah, I think it's certainly curious that there's no Bran. To me, he's the most important character in the entire show. There's plenty backing that up, not just me saying that, but I think it's left out for a reason. And if the camera just pans left, there's like a giant statue of Bran. That's probably what it is. Or it's in the further down in the crypts because he is a Winter King. But we'll leave it at that for speculations next week.
It's still it's getting reworked, so it's in the shop.
Well, they started one, right? And they're like, oh shit, we got to get that fucking
started with
wheelchair.
Jon,
We got to
and then
get
they
that
started with
damn
Sansa.
wheelchair in there. They had him standing originally. They have to fix it.
They're not doing the wheelchair. They got to get the Hodor basket, and so
Oh, man.
they got to find that Hodor granite to get carved out. That's
They
the
gotta
trouble.
get a Hodor statue, Bran and Mira, or Mira and
Jojen, just body parts.
Or some paste.
Just a paste, yeah. Just a tube of Jojen toothpaste.
No Rickon statue either.
Yeah, that's true. Everyone they actually forgot about him at the season 8 premiere too. He wasn't there. The actor that played him wasn't there. It just got lost in the mail somewhere. He actually zigzagged, in his Uber on the way there, and they got lost.
He tried to the bouncer would have let him in.
Who are
Like,
you?
on the list? Yeah, I'm Rickon Stark.
There is no Rickon Stark in this story. You're not even a real person. I agree, Glenn, that this is again kind of one of those teasers. It's not actual footage. It's more symbolic of even down in the depths of Winterfell, it's going to impregnate the bitch, and if they're not safe down there, then I think it's just trying to show how imminent this threat is, because Winterfell is probably target number one priority, not first chronologically that's going to be attacked, but it's certainly a huge thematic symbol of the North and of all of the First Men and everything. So historically, Night's King, potentially an old Stark, almost guaranteed going to Winterfell, beeline there. So if they're having to fight from the crypts, I think it's just supposed to show that it's not going to be as easy as it might be. You might think for our heroes. Also, Kat's just too hard on herself with that line. She's too hard on herself. That's all I'll say on that. Team House Cat. That's right. But
Team put the cat out.
Oh, get out of here. Leave.
Too late. Yeah, that's her worst line. I couldn't love a motherless child. Exactly. That's why you're horrible.
No, that's why you're human.
Another
And,
day. Another day.
Yeah.
Another
Okay.
day.
All right.
Abby, what's
When Benji's not around, another day.
No, we'll get on it later. But Abby, do you have another thought in this here?
No, I mean it's cool to see those three together for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like the face of
The franchise.
of the franchise, I guess. But and maybe I don't know. I'm pretty basic, so that's like the face of what everything I want to survive and carry on. So sorry to all you people out there that want an alternative ending. I'm just basic, and I want the Starks to be okay. That's all I care about.
And we'll see if that happens. Glennie, anything else on this?
Not really.
Yeah, Benj. Good. All right. Yeah. Again, good hype stuff. Interesting. I like seeing the crypts. That's
And then this confirms that we are going to see Jon Snow, Sansa, and Arya in the next season.
Confirmed. They're not trying to like, oh, they actually just left, and they didn't get recast. So that's a positive. That's a positive sign. Where's Jon Snow? There's Jon Snow. That's not Jon Snow.
We're just tired of paying him millions of dollars.
Where's Dario?
That's Frank. He's getting paid, $7 an hour.
He's been a stand-in for 7 years. Alrighty, so let's roll on to what is the official Game of Thrones Season 8 trailer. It's also known as the 2019 trailer. Running.
I know death. He's got many faces. I look forward to seeing this one.
A little dagger action there, huh?
Everything you did brought you where you are now. Where you belong. Home.
Those are big
They're
birds.
coming. Our enemy doesn't tire. Doesn't stop.
Gendry in his own.
Doesn't feel. I promise to fight for the living. I intend to keep that promise.
All right, so this is where we were confirmed that this is the final season. No, we've known that for a long time. But Benj, I'm going to come to you first on this one. First
Sure.
big take.
So I like the dynamic of Arya's line about death having many faces and and looking forward to seeing this one over her running for her fucking life, where she's just pure terror. No idea. Yeah, I've seen brightened images of stuff behind her, things chasing her, but you got to wonder what would freak her out that much to make her run like that. And so that's kind of the key part. I'm convinced she is in Winterfell still running. This is, I think this is mostly from the same episode. Most of this trailer is all from the same episode. And so I do believe she is in Winterfell running during the battle. But I definitely want to know what the hell's chasing her. I'm glad the dragons finally have some distinct coloring. It's way more obvious to tell them apart, besides just size-wise, because previous seasons, they all kind of had like a slight shade of gray, so it was harder to tell, but these are real bright and vibrant. And then our enemy doesn't tire, doesn't stop, doesn't feel, and it cuts to Cersei about to cry into her wine. I like that editing where it's like, okay, I can see, who John's talking about, but it can be inferred that, yeah, Cersei's kind of the same exact way.
You think it's wine or you think it's essence of nightshade? She's gone down that path once before.
Good.
Wine
Good.
shade.
Essence of wine.
Essence of wine.
Thanks, buddy. I love you too.
Aw.
Glennie, on that note, what's your first note?
So, yeah, in my opinion, I think somebody mentioned it, but this is kind of the first trailer, I guess, that with actual footage from the new season, not just like a promo or whatever. Also, I like the part where Jamie was like, "Hey, I pledged to fight for the living, and I'm gonna do that." That was pretty cool, but at the same time, like you see Cersei with kind of a shit-eating grin. And the thing is, and here's the thing: what becomes of her and Jamie if they meet in the second round? Meaning that I think Jamie is now a turncoat as far as she's in her mind. So now he's an enemy. So like if Jamie tries to come back, like what's gonna happen?
Oh, I really hope I really hope that doesn't even become a question of him coming back.
Well, who's on that Greyjoy ship?
That was
Is
going to be
that
my question
Jamie?
to you, Abby.
It looks like
Who do you think
Jamie.
would be on the Greyjoy ships?
Well, to me, every time I've watched this one, this is the one that I've actually seen a couple times. These final two, I'm like, isn't that Jamie on that ship? I don't know who else it could be because he's definitely looking, place of command, and it's not Euron. Anybody know? No, I don't know.
Yeah,
You know,
we have a good idea who it
Sorry,
is.
guys.
Go ahead,
Sorry,
Luke.
guy.
Pretty good idea of who it is.
Actually, I think the actor has been named. Like the character has been named.
Who has been named?
is it like somebody from like the Golden Company? Like I know they were like
Yes.
supposedly ferrying to go get them,
Mm-hmm.
but it definitely looks a lot like Jamie. Like backshot could possibly be him.
Nice back.
Good head of hair, you
Looks
know.
like-
I
looks
don't know
like,
what to say.
Fred from Scooby Doo or something.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Oh man, Direpo just let some air poison out. But yeah, no, I was curious as to who you were thinking that was going to be there, Abby. But yeah, it's likely the Golden Company, led by a character who was never named in the shows, never referenced at all. But likely it's Harry Strickland.
Okay.
I don't know if
Strickland
you're not.
propane.
We're Harry Strickland Propane, and you're not that far in the books, so sorry for you.
That's okay. I'll get there. I'm
Yeah,
trying.
played by actor Mark Rissman. So
Jesus,
just
Sounds good to me.
looked that one up. Yeah.
There you go. But I really love seeing the dragons flying into / over the walls of Winterfell.
Doing a flyby.
I like, the F-15. You know,
Requesting for flyby.
you're clear for.
I wonder if they
airspace is
have
open.
Flyby
to
denied.
run their jets at 3 a.m. to keep them ready. You know.
And then Sansa spills her coffee.
Freaking-
Oh no! It turns into an infomercial from then on. She needs dragon ears. No, it's
New windows.
new
Provided
windows,
you
doors and
by
windows.
Lambert Airfield.
Well, we know they have a new door, right? That was broken down. Battle of the Bastards. So, I don't know. I know Benji is saying he thinks that a lot of this is from pretty much all the same episode, which I could see that. I think it pulls from a little bit more than that, but I am really excited to see some of these big fights that are upcoming. I mean, this is again 8 years in the making, setting all of these pieces in place to converge on 6 episodes, and shit is just gonna have to pretty much consistently go down. And
I feel like it has to be like a 6-episode battle. Battle part 1, battle part 2. Like I don't think anything else is gonna happen except for battling, and maybe the
a little bit of
6th
prep.
episode. Maybe I don't even know. Let's just get into it.
Drop the puck.
Drop the puck.
Yeah.
Let's drop the puck. Drop the gloves. Let's go.
Power
Tuck the
play.
Glennie, got anything else here?
Not really. Yeah, I think I like a lot of the shots. Look pretty cool. So
Yeah,
looking forward to it.
It looks good. Colors look good. It's brighter than it seems like it's been. It's dark where it needs to be, from what we can tell. And the Golden Company, I think, looks pretty awesome. I'm glad that they just threw that in there, because they've been referencing it here and there. So that makes it real and gives that side a little bit more credence to, okay, maybe Cersei wasn't full of shit on some of what she was talking about. I think it's a pretty good trailer. I don't think you can really pull much from it. I hate when people try to pull speculations of, oh, the way they shoot this. Like, they're intentional about the way things are cut together to make it seem like, oh, this person's dealing with something. They're completely unrelated almost every single time. It's just cut that way to get the hype train going of, oh, it opens all these questions up, which I'm fine with. But it just almost never comes to fruition, as Glenn would say.
Friction.
Yeah.
Abby.
I do have a thought. So I didn't see it while we were watching through right here, but this trailer, you do specifically see Tormund in it, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think like the beginning or something.
Yeah, so this was the first one that I watched. I think I was even on, not on a live stream with anybody, but just like in the chat, and they're like, "Have you seen this?" And I was like, "I haven't watched it yet." And I was like, "Oh my gosh!" After watching season 7, the last episode, I'm like, how do you make it out of that? Like they run, but that entire freaking ice, it just all comes down. They're dead. And I was really, really like, I was ready for him to be not there. I wasn't happy. I was like, there has to be an escape, something like some magnificent repelling is going on somewhere. But in my heart of hearts, I was like, Torment, he's toast. I can't even take it. But then this trailer comes up, and speculation or not, he's in it. So I have hope. Thank you. Like, I'm ready for Tormund to be back. He can't go yet. That's all. Oh man.
So, yeah, I personally never had a single doubt about Tormund.
I
He's
did.
too much of
like,
a fan favorite that there's no way that they wouldn't show that on screen. You see
Yeah.
it, they wouldn't leave it.
behind you, Glenn.
Did you know? Gumby's, yeah,
Where's he
Gumby. Whoa, it's
I don't see him.
Gumby. He's,
Is that him?
can we
Say
go
hi,
over by him?
Gumby.
Can we go over and say hi to Gumby or Glumby?
Ah,
Gumby.
kids.
But
Put him in Gumby.
yeah, no, we're not doing that today. We're not doing that today. But yeah, so that's pretty much the main official trailer. I think it's good. I like the music of it. It definitely gets you excited and gives you a little bit of actual footage, which is always cool.
And when I said like most of this is from the one episode, I believe it's as Ninth Prey pointed out, most of this is gonna be in episode 3 because it's the longest episode or footage up to that point. I don't think we got any footage after episode 3. I'll put it that way.
Can we just start already? Like, I'm ready. Jeez.
Oh, I know it's so hard. You have such a long wait.
No, I don't
so
really.
unfair.
I'm excited. It's not that I can wait. That's fine. I can be patient.
Oh, I'm just giving you shit.
No, I don't know. I really can't. I'm one of the most impatient people when it comes to this kind of stuff. But my question is, like, at the premiere, who gets to go to that? Like, can you buy tickets? Like, if you're pretty rich, can you
No,
buy tickets?
Possibly. If you're that rich, you might get an invitation. Like you could put it, you have to be approved. And because even like for season 7, it was this whole thing, like leaks came out and literally they will sue the shit out of you.
Really? That's what I was
so-
wondering. Like, man, how do they keep wraps, like, in the world we live in today, on making
Yeah.
sure it doesn't leak? I would not be doing no premiere party till like the day of, at the exact time it dropped.
Yeah, basically it's mostly production and cast and and when I say a handful, maybe a couple hundred allowed and vetted people to be in there, but I don't think it's like you can if you're super rich or anything, you're just automatically able to buy a ticket.
That's so. And sorry, last thing on the premiere, Rose Leslie's dress, fire. It was so good.
Yeah, I missed
Except
a
she
lot
looked
of
like
it.
did you? I just
on
saw like
fire.
some of like the costumes and stuff, and shoot, I
Girl
can't
on
think of her
Fire.
name. Hey, I've seen that one too. The girl who plays Brienne.
Yeah, it was Gwendolyn Christie. I was gonna say her dress was. I saw hers. Hers was rocking.
Yeah, well, and of course Missandei too.
Oh yeah.
Like, whew, all of them. They all look good.
Everybody.
Sorry, they all look super good.
It's almost like they have professional
Firing on
people
all-
and they're just beautiful.
Just
So it's
firing
just a
on
good
all
combo.
cylinders.
I did see the one picture of Sophie Turner hugging Jack Gleason right next to her.
Yeah, that
husband,
was
Joe
memeable
Jonas.
for sure.
Yeah. That
Oh,
was
wait.
cute.
Sophie Turner is married to who?
Joe Jonas.
Get out! Like,
Mhm.
of
Or
like
engaged.
the
They're
Jonas
engaged. They're
Brothers.
engaged.
Just
Yeah.
like the one from the Jonas Brothers. He's just
Yep.
like him.
Weird. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, like he's standing off the side and she's like wrapped around Jack Gleason, and you know who Jack Gleason is, right? Ab?
Is that Davos?
Nope.
Joffrey.
Joffrey.
Oh, Joffrey.
Yeah. So it was. It's a cute picture.
I
It's-
wouldn't
it's a cute
care.
picture.
That'd be fine. I'd be like, hug away, not threatened.
All right, let's roll into the last promo teaser trailer that we have, which is called "Fight for the Living" and is also called the Aftermath promo. So let's roll that footage. Rough fall.
I think Miranda handled it all right.
There's the classic intake silence that they use often to show the night falling with the White Walkers at hand. So, Glennie, I'm gonna go to you first again on this one. What's your big first takeaway here?
First takeaway, I like the views of war-torn Winterfell, with sounds of previous battles and stuff like that. I think that's pretty cool, looking and sounding. Also, Longclaw be left behind. Seems more promo-ish, but I can't really tell if John and Longclaw got separated in some way, or if it's just put on display for John Q viewer.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're still talking. They're trying to work it out, but right now it seems like they might be, separated, trying to work through some things.
When I first saw this, I was like, "Oh my god, not Bear Claw!" And I was like, "Oh wait,
Bear Claw.
Oh, he lost his donut.
I'm like, no, it'd be Wolf Claw. That's not even the right name." But yeah, I was really upset, and then I was like, "Damn it, no,
Damn, now I
not
want
Bear
some
Claw."
bear claws. Sounds pretty good.
Right? Oh, not Bear Claw.
Yeah, no, I really like seeing the war torn Winterfell, like you were saying. I think it has to look like it's broken, right? It's kind of one of the things of you have a wall, it's gonna fall. You have a mainstay, it's got to be taken, kind of thing. And so again, I agree. This is probably more promo and teasery than actual content. But yeah, the visuals are very, very neat. Benj?
Yeah, so you have I kind of wanted to list out all the things we've seen. You get Tyrion's hand pin. You have Needle, Lyanna's feather, an unbroken wheel but a broken wheelchair, Danny's chain, Jamie's hand, and Longclaw. Kind of all symbology of characters that we know, everything like that. I like it. I agree with you, Luke. I don't think this is foreshadow. I'm not. I can't say it's foreshadowing, but it's teaser, just kind of not fan service, but get hype kind of video. I did like the shot that's on the screen right now. If it goes like a second or two longer at the very end, you see a shadow behind Longclaw walking through the tunnel, and it's the Night King. To me, it looks like the shadow of the Night King. So I do.
But if it's a shadow, he just looks like a man, so it could be any skinny,
It's a man.
It
decent
looked
looking.
like it
Oh,
had-
my
man.
shadow looks fat.
It kind of
Right.
looked like it had the horny head. So
It's Mr. Tumnus.
it's
He's a satyr.
Mr. Tumnus wins the Iron
so I did like that shot because it basically telling you, hey, yeah, Night's King is gonna make it to Winterfell. He's gonna make it inside.
It's
And
Tumnus.
it's ominous. It does its job.
It's Tumnus.
Mr. King. The Knight's Tumnus. Abby, what's your first big takeaway here?
So I have watched some videos of people like breaking this down and them telling me what every little thing was that we saw in here. But here, I just have a different view. Okay, so my idea is imagine graduation, and you are so excited that it's over. You take your hat and you throw it. You're like, yay, woohoo, it's over. I just think this is celebration after everything is from the Nice King is nice, and we all live, and we all hug and shake hands, and they're all like, yay, it's over. They just throw their shit and go off, and they're partying and
They give the
hall.
handshake good games down the line.
Yeah.
Oh, done with this
Exactly.
shit.
Like this is just like we don't even need these swords anymore. And Brand's like, I'm so happy I don't even need this fucking
Wow.
wheelchair. Throw it down the steps. It's fine.
I'm
Like,
done with wheelchairs.
I can walk again.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna. What is it? Ivor it for the rest. You know what I'm talking about? No.
I don't know what you're
Okay.
talking about.
Like John Locke.
Yeah. As
The
Kenzie
guy
says in the
No. Never mind. Go ahead.
no, you're fine. Kenzie says in the chat, this is the Hall of Faces for season 8. The Hall of Faces trailer we got back in season 6, I believe, or for season 6 kind of thing. You know, very similar where you're seeing dead
Everybody's
faces on the
face.
walls and all that. It's again, it's
Everybody's face.
symbology.
Yeah, it's definitely
I think-
questionable for them to be wearing dead face on screen. But Abby, continue with your comment there.
Controversial.
So my other thought is Like, there's no acting going on here. We don't see any people.
Whoa! You got to give it up for Longclaw.
The
Look at, I
person
mean,
that
Bear Claw.
flicks the
Sorry.
feather off the
The
you know,
wind
the
was
gust
amazing.
of wind.
Underrated, underrated wind.
Yeah, so somebody had to do that. That's pretty cool. Great acting. But like, I would imagine we've exploded our budget. We're not gonna make a fake thing of like trailer to throw people off or whatever with the actors. So we have no actors in this. I just think we're getting trolled real hard. That's all.
I feel very much the same.
Yeah.
It's trolls.
I don't believe it. You're not fooling me.
Yeah, what I actually wrote was just a bunch of Easter eggs and nods to items that we know to show that, hey, we haven't forgot about these things because we know you fans watch fucking everything and analyze everything. And
Except Abby, who didn't know what the fucking feather was.
but
Which
still,
apparently
like
was a big deal.
you caught a lot of the other items, I'm
Like,
sure,
yeah.
and you're like, hey, that's something. And
Yeah.
I think a lot of it is just something to throw into the speculations community that
mean,
will not really provide any substance.
Here's my thought on the feather. Like, I think the first couple times through Forrest Gump, you didn't realize the significance of the feather until like it clicked one of the times you watched it. So
Would you like to expound on what the actual meaning of the feather in Forrest Gump is?
the Gump feather, it was the bookmark.
What would you say is a bookmark?
So a bookmark is, when you're reading a book or something like that,
I've done that.
you want to keep your place. You don't want to have to remember exactly where you were in the book, so you put a mark in there. And next time you open up the book, you're right back where you were.
It's just a great idea. It's just a great idea.
I should patent that.
Should we make an infomercial on bookmarks? I think we should. I can never remember what page I'm on. How do I deal with this book?
And Glenn, you should do infomercials. Maybe not
Me?
for bookmarks, but in general.
Not for bookmarks.
No. We
Definitely.
gotta start with bookmarks.
Infomercial.
But yeah, no, I think there's a lot of things that you can take from them. I think they're intentionally throwing a lot of things that, hey, this could roll off into so many things.
Talking about bookmarks. So.
I'm halfway past bookmarks. Bookmarks. I'm sold. I think it's a good idea. I'll invest.
Yeah, I think we're the first people to think of that.
We should build one tonight. Let's get a prototype. We need to get a prototype going. But yeah, no, I think there's certainly things you could look at here, but a lot of it is intentional by them to throw it into creating a wank fest. Is how I feel about it. Most of this is not going to lead to anything. It's just showing us, hey, this is something you can relate to a certain character who is still in the show. That's really how I feel about it. And you can write your hate mail to Sly McLean on Twitter, and I'll not answer you because that's Benji. But Benji, you got anything else here? No, Abby, anything else? Glenny?
I asked this the other day, but who do you think the Ravens are rooting for in this big war?
Yeah, well, we had a whole discussion, you and I, about, because we were watching Harry Potter last night, right?
Mhm.
And the question came up of,
As you should be.
which we'll throw it to the chat as well, but ravens or owls? You got to choose a messenger bird, right? And that's where the conversation started.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so talk amongst yourselves in the chat who you're going to choose, an owl or a raven.
Neither.
And you say neither?
Neither. Carrier pigeons, motherfucker.
Well,
Fair enough.
fair enough. It
Carrier
wasn't one of the options, but we'll throw
I'd rather
Assassin's
go
Creed
with
in
the
here.
Pony Express, personally.
Okay,
but-
flying ponies. We all like Pegasus. It's cool. But yeah, no. Who do you think the Ravens are rooting for? Is a good question.
Yeah,
Abby, or Glenn, explain yourself.
Yeah, my thought was, these Ravens been working overtime, sending messages, to and far, and if the Night King wins, maybe they probably don't even use the Raven system, so they're they're going to be off the hook. They're going to be we're on vacation for the rest of our days as Ravens.
Abby, so what do you think?
I was thinking the same thing. They'll become like the what is that tower? The Tower of London. That's what the tower is called. The Ravens there, kind of obsolete. But they still get like they're still like a Raven master. They'll have a pretty cushy life if the Night King takes
what do
over.
we do now?
But it's a little cold for him,
Be
right?
Ravens.
What do you do now? Live like a bird. I'm just gonna be a bird for a while.
Just do bird
Let me
shit.
go out there
like,
and be a free bird.
Yeah, free bird.
Benj, what do you think? In the choice of ravens or owls,
See, and I was kind of thinking of this because I do agree. I still say pigeons because pigeons are smarter than both of them, and because they can live in a city.
Wrong.
Ravens and owls only
Sorry,
live in the
small
fucking
birds.
woods or open fields. Pigeons are smart to live in the cities, but I'd probably go owl because they're more flexible to move around in such as a castle style city or castle town. Ravens are great open field. They are faster, however, more reliable. Owls are wiser. They only typically work at night. So,
That's not the question I got, but that's cool.
And also, which side are the ravens rooting for?
oh, which side the Ravens rooting for? Oh, fuck it. They're rooting for the Night's King because, yeah, they don't want to work anymore. Fuck that. They can just flap
I
around.
don't
and
wanna
wanna
work.
work.
You know,
They
fuck
want
that.
retirement.
On the drum all day. Todd
Exactly. They
Rundgren.
just flap around. So the Ravens are rooting for the dead.
I think
I think-
we
I
may
think
have come
so.
to a consensus on that. Abby, agree, right?
Yeah, I
It
agree.
makes sense. But they also have really good job security for the living side, right? I mean, if they want to have a job, they should have the right to have a fucking job.
Right.
But ravens eat dead things, and since the whites are dead, that's an unlimited food source.
Perpetual
They are
food.
death birds.
Mm-hmm.
But not everything can keep dying. You have to have the living around to create more dying.
Well,
You'll
But
run out of
we're-
dying.
It's a
That is a
bird.
that is a limited supply.
There's a lot for
There's
them.
a lot.
If
but it
they're
is
only
limited.
conscious
Whole
about
world
their
out there.
lives and that of their
The
direct
whole
children,
damn
they'll be okay.
world. Okay.
Kind of
Well,
like humans.
kind of like
think
humans.
we did make the point,
that's
though,
our new
too,
that's our new band name, Abby. Kind of
about
like humans.
Awesome.
Owl v.
Awesome.
Raven, that owls do know exactly the exact number of licks that it takes to get to the
Oh.
center of the Tootsie Pop.
And-
So
And you can't
I mean,
ignore
right
something
there,
like
yeah.
that. They also, you could just say, "Hey, take this to so and so." They're gonna take it exactly to that person.
But
Almost perfect in our sample set. Almost perfect. Ravens in this series can only go from a castle to another, specifically just that one direction. They
Yeah,
don't fly
that's
back.
true. I will
it's
say
not in their
though,
contract
just
to
think
fly
about
back.
yourself,
Yeah,
like
true.
the
What makes it-
self-satisfaction you had as a messenger in like
Raven
kindergarten.
Players Union.
In kindergarten, when you got to run the message from your kindergarten teacher to the art teacher, that was a good day. The Ravens might not be very happy after they have no purpose in life.
See, yeah, I mean, it sounds great on the surface, right?
Right.
But everyone likes to have something to do.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so maybe we're back to being split decision. We'll reconvene. We'll ask a couple local ravens and local owls and get their opinions. But that's I think all we can really do right now.
I have decided, because of these streams that we do, things that I would never ever be good at. One would be presidents or politics. Don't vote for me. I don't want to be in charge. And number two would be like the raven or messenger sender. That would be another job I don't want. I don't want to work in the owlery. I don't want to work in the raven thing. Find another job.
The ravenry.
I'll clean toilets.
Raven
Yeah.
Ray.
She'll be on the poop soup loop.
Yeah, I would rather be on the
Soup.
poop soup loop than in the ravenry.
That's fair. You can have the poop soup loop job.
Yeah, I would rather not have that, but if I had to. If you had to pick.
Poop soup loop.
Well, we went through this quicker than I anticipated, which is always good. But let's go ahead. There's a lot of other people streaming and having fun. I actually don't know specifically who's going on after us tonight, but if anyone knows, please throw those links in the chats. Our wonderful mods will take care of that.
Luke, are you guys not doing
What?
your thing? I just asking really quick. Is there a Harry Potter thing?
Yeah, I've got notes on that.
That's rubbish.
Okay, never mind then.
Yeah, we are going to be live stream recording for the podcast that must not be named tonight for Goblet of Fire unrestricted section, which is part of our 5 chat recap. where we actually can get spoiler filled for the first time in that section. So we are going through chapters 21 through 25 of Goblet of Fire. A lot of fun stuff to talk about there. We will be joined by a wonderful friend of ours from Australia, Jem, from the podcast 9 3/4. So please check us out. That link will be posted on socials. Follow that show at Not Named Podcast.
And I did load it into the chat here.
Perfect. It's also in the chat there. That'll be starting at 10 p.m. Central. Also, become a patron to join our Imaginary Legion and get exclusive access to a bunch of neat things. Learn more at patreon.com/stayimaginary. We have a really fun thing going on with Throne Fantasy app. We've had things in socials about it. We are creating a public league for everyone to join. Benj, if you want to drop that league code into the chat as well. Download the app. They have iOS and Android ready, so check that out. Join our league, the Drinks and Nose League. Create your team, and we'll revisit that each week during Season 8. It was a lot of fun during Season 7, I know. I think that was the first year that they did it, and it was just a fun, silly thing that we could get pissed off at. Oh, fuck that character for doing something cool, and you got points for it, motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's one on my team.
Remind me, who won that one for Season 7?
And I picked the same character again this year as my dark horse.
He's due.
He's due. It's his time. That's all I'll say on that.
Yeah,
I will say they don't have great directions when you first start picking. I have no idea what I'm picking.
It does kind of throw you into picking first, but then you can access the rules afterwards. Is that right, Glenn?
Yeah. And actually, if you go to thronesfantasy.com, it has all the scoring on the website itself.
Okay. So that'll be helpful. Definitely check their website out, probably thronesfantasy.com. I know we have that link somewhere, but
yeah, they're ignoring me, John.
Perfect.
On my question.
DA's got it in there. For all of the ways you can help keep our beer bank full, please check out thepodcastthat.com/support us. We have a bunch of new t-shirts available in the store. This weekend is actually a flash sale on t-shirts. Most of the t-shirts are around $13. So you can get a House Dog shirt. You can get a House Condescension shirt. Any of our shirts. There's also a Microfingers Flea Bottom Emporium shirt in there. As I couldn't walk around very much this past week, I just created t-shirts. That's how I spent most of my time. And it was a lot of fun.
I about the flash sale because I actually ended up buying like 2 of them about 4 or 5 days ago. Still got some discounts, but it was like, damn it, saw the sale pop up. I was like,
buy more.
Yeah, and I'm also going to put the request out there. If you guys remember some of our funnier jokes, because podcast amnesia is a real thing, send us in some of the funnier things that you can remember from our show, and hell, I'll make a t-shirt out of it, and it'll be discounted for the first 3 days after a new design goes up. So even if you miss the flash sale, I'll put it out on socials that a new design is available for you to purchase the merch. So we have a bunch of new videos coming out this week. Sly did a bunch of work. I did a bunch of work behind the scenes getting them all together and ready. We have a new series called Sit Downs with Sly, and they are 1-on-2 interviews, getting some of our good friends from the communities, initial thoughts, predictions, just silly questions about, hey, where are you at right now, and what do you think is going to happen for Season 8? So those are going to be coming out tomorrow.
I like IR's recommendation. Sorry to cut you off.
What was it?
Hashtag Big Dick Danny shirt.
No.
I don't know if I'm going to put that one out there.
Nope, not happening. Make it yourself. Get a Sharpie.
So definitely starting tomorrow, and I think they're premiering at 6 p.m. every day starting from tomorrow through Saturday. We've got 7 in a row of them, and they will be releasing at 6 p.m. each day. And
no, Marie, they will be on the Drinks and Nose channel.
They're going to be on this channel that you're on right here. If you haven't subscribed to us, please do, and you can hit that notification bell to make sure you get the premiere update when those come out. I know I'm going to try to be in the chat when they premiere. Hopefully everyone else will try to make it as well, and we will see you there. We've had a lot of fun with some of our good friends, some that you've seen on our show, some that you haven't. But you'll probably recognize their names. Follow us on Twitter at KnowAndDrink. Send us a digital raven or an owl if that's your preference. You know, I'm not going to bird shame you.
Or a pigeon.
To knowandrink@gmail.com or a carrier pigeon or a Pony Express, whatever the fuck you want to send. We appreciate it. And I will drink to that as well if I can find my beer. Subscribe, like, rate, leave comments on iTunes and YouTube. Those comments really go a long way to helping us know how much you hate us or love us, because it's awesome. And we like chatting with you even when we're not live.
Mm-hmm.
Hit that notification bell to get all of the updates on when things are coming out. We have a lot of things scheduled, a lot of things planned. So stay with us through season 8. Another real quick thing, we have fun stuff set up with John Del Vento for new music for season 8 starting then. So you'll get to hear more of his wonderful work starting soon. But we hope to see you next Saturday night for our season 8 speculations. And until next time,
As always, I still don't know, so I'll just drink.
As always, don't turn your back on the left back.
As always, I won season 7, and winter is coming. So did I.
and as always, stay imaginary.
How do you know this?
That's what I do. I drink, and I know things.
All right, we are going to roll out of here. Thank you guys all for joining us. And we hope
Put
to
in
see
the link
you
again in the chat.
chats.
That is for must not be named.
Perfect. And I am going to click this button over here while I burp into the microphone. No, I'm not going to burp into the microphone.